lot of people talk about it like, oh, when I get big, I'm gonna do this. When I get big, but it's like they don't finish the rest of the story. It's like, what comes before when I get big? Like, what did you do? What are you gonna do to get big?
What's up, everyone? My name is Walt. I'm the host of BossLocks. Now, if you're a day one listener, welcome back. And if you're a first-time listener, thank you for joining us today. This is BossLocks, a show where we are redefining professionalism, elevating Black voices, and proving that natural hair and professionalism do coexist. Now, we do this by speaking to Black leaders and CEOs to learn about their personal journeys and experiences working while Black. Now, we have a special guest today, but before I introduce him, I want to give a quick shout out to the latest members of the BossLocks Village. That is Alexis Parker and Bill and Lisa Schultz. I want to thank you so much for supporting this journey, being a part of it. As an independent creative, your support means a lot. But more on that later, because I have a guest I'm really excited to introduce to you all. Today, I have the honor and privilege of speaking to Dominic King. Dominic, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. This fine sunny Saturday morning or afternoon. All
Cold
right.
for me. It's cold. You might call it sunny, but this is cold for me.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We got the Florida boy in the building.
Yes, sir. This is pretty cold.
Yeah. Now, for those who do not know, Dominic, aka Ruuster, is an artist from Orlando, Florida, who's using his creative talent to share her experiences and outlook on life with the masses via melodies and rhythm. And I think actually, yeah, you're the third artist we've had come on the show, and I'm really excited to dive deeper into just the life as a recording artist and just learn from your experiences and journey so far. And really excited to be one of the first, I hope, to interview you before you make it big. So I could always be like, yeah, I knew about him from the beginning. But but more on that later. I have a bunch of questions for you. But the very first one I have for you is I want to know, what are three things that most people don't usually know about you?
Well, it always changes because it's so much that I feel like it's a lot that people don't know about me. But to touch on the music thing, I've been actually making music since I was in elementary school. Like,
Oh, for real?
yeah, like in third grade, I started playing the violin.
For
And
real?
yeah. So it progressed, and I played that until I got to middle school. And then middle school, the first thing I played was the tuba. Then I jumped around. I got bored with the tuba. I played percussion. Then I played the trombone. Then I went back to the tuba because that was really, I loved it. But, and then I got to high school and I just was like, it's band or football because you can't do both. You don't want to be one of them guys like trying to run to the locker room and change clothes. And so I just chose football, man. And then, yeah, that's how I started rapping more because I couldn't be in band. So I just put words instead of the music. Took less time.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. There's what's funny. In third grade, that's when I started playing the violin as well. I had some students, the Kane family. They were from Germany. They started going to our school, and I think I don't know if it was like the first week or so, but they just came and did their little performance with the violin. I was like, oh, what's that? What? Oh, I was like, yeah, let me try that.
I could do that.
Yeah, I did it. Not well, but I did it.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah,
see, you got it in you too. Then you
yeah.
started early.
Started early. Yeah, and I think the only other two other instruments. I played the piano for a little bit, and then the bass guitar. I miss playing the bass a lot.
I
But
want to learn the piano next.
yeah, that's why I got the keyboard in the back. I keep it there for peer pressure, so everyone sees. So I really gotta, I really gotta step to the plate. So for everyone watching, listening, next time you see me, ask me how's that piano going. I won't have a good answer for you, but it's gonna be good encouragement. Yeah. But that's really interesting. So you really not only started, because I feel like a lot of us, we start playing instruments early in life, but then life just happens and we just go about the other ways. But you didn't just stop. You went from violin to tuba, all these different instruments, and then just like, yeah, let me start writing, using my words as instruments. That's pretty dope. But what was that, like a conscious decision to start making music, or did it just kind of happen?
I think that was more so like I had like a lot of privilege. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to be in activities and be in these extracurricular things.
Mm.
You know, so versus some of my peers wasn't able to do some of those things. So me being able to have access to go ahead and be in band and stay after school and have transportation and have funds to go on the band trips and do all that stuff, that allowed me to further myself and get more in depth with it.
I like that. I think yeah, Ronika Jacobs, I was speaking to her about black privilege, and I think that's a topic that or just a thought, an idea, a concept that a lot of people haven't really grasped just yet, because of course we think about white privilege and hear black privilege. It's like, no, we don't have that. What? No, that's not real, it doesn't exist. Stop with that. But I think it's good to point out privilege, especially black privilege, because there are a lot of things that a lot of people can't or don't have access to. But there are a lot of little things. We look at little things, but just being able to, for me to play the violin, for you to take part of these extracurricular activities, that is a big difference, and as a factor as well. So that's pretty cool. Was that something you wanted to do, or was that like your parents were like, "No, you're gonna do this"?
Nah, see, my mom, she played the clarinet. So of course she was like, "Oh, my baby is in the band. He play clarinet." But my dad was like, "Just do whatever you want to do, and you can do whatever you want to do, and we're gonna make sure you can do it. But if you want to do something, just do what you want to do." But naturally, I loved music. Like I always loved music. So when I started being in band and stuff like that, and then when I started to get older and I started to actually because even though I started in like second, third grade with the violin, middle school, like sixth or seventh grade, that was like the first time I actually like wrote my own rap and put it to words. So once
Oh,
I was
really?
doing that, yeah, once I did it like that, it wasn't even about like school anymore. It was like, okay, I could do this anytime. I could do this anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even about money. Like even to this day, I don't even rap for money. I just rap for like because I love to do it. I love to make music. So I think that's what kept me going. That's what pushed me further that
Interesting. Do you remember the first rap you wrote?
way. I kind of remember bits and pieces, but I tell you what, I'm gonna get my little brother Jaden to rap it to you because he remembers
Oh, we need that.
it. I remember like bits and pieces of it, but I always fumble over because I wrote it. I was like probably like 12 years old. Like
Mm.
that was my first rap ever. So my little brother, but I ain't gonna lie, that's the funniest thing to me because he says it like perfectly, and when he spits it, it reminds me of when I was a kid. I'm like, bro, he says it just like how I said it. How the hell did you get my stuff down pat like that?
Man, that's what's up. So it wasn't like bad. It was actually like it was pretty decent.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. Me and my friends, I had two other friends. My name Dominique, so I had my friends Devin and DeAndre, and we had a little rap group we made called 3D. So they had like,
Like,
we all rode the school bus together. So we would get on the bus and everything and be like, we 3D, listen to us spit, bro. So we're on the bus, we ride to school. If we're spitting, you have no choice but to hear us.
shout out to the first fans or first listeners.
Shout out to all y'all, my first fans. They got some good shows though.
For
So,
free.
so really, if I see them, even though shout out to them, I need that. Them ticket sales back then because
Hmm.
I never got paid for those. But
Interest racking up.
yeah, it's definitely racking up.
Yeah. So, how did the name Rooster come to fruition?
Oh, okay. So like I was saying, I later in life, like after, because when I was younger, I was in school and stuff. I was doing good in school and stuff like that. And then as I got older, I just became like this one like more older version of myself. But I was getting into a lot of things, and my nickname on like everybody used to call me like Rudy, little Rudy. You know what I'm saying? And then I never forget one day, um, one of my uncle's friends, Tiki, she was like, "You so country. You so country. You like a little rooster." And then all my friends was like right my well not all my friends, my best friend Black was right there. And then my Uncle J-Bo was right there. And they was like they started laughing at first. They was like, oh yeah, it ain't no more Rudy, ain't no more Rudy, you Rooster, nah, 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 you know. It was like a joke at first, you know what I'm saying? And then literally after that, I I never heard none of them call me Rudy ever again. They just used to either
Oh, everyone's on the same page. Like it's Rooster for real now.
Rooster. Like that's just what it was. Everybody was Rooster, and then Rooster turned into Roo. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just use that as my rap name. You know, cool.
Okay, word.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
That's what's up. Yeah, I know. Shout out to my VI people, but I had a similar experience. But during practice, someone, I think, yeah, no, my coach was like, "Oh, Walter's a real tough cookie," and then my friend Juan, he's just like tough cookie, and like the rest of the practice, he'd be like, "Tough cookie, pass, tough cookie, yeah." And then everyone else on the team started tough cookie or cookie monster, then cook, and then it just kind of transformed. Everyone at school just knew me as Cookie, but
Hey, that's great.
yeah.
Do you like cookies at least?
Oh, I love cookies. Chocolate chip cookies, yo. If someone gave
So
me
it's
a
worth
chocolate
it.
chip cookie, oh, yeah, it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. It fit. It fit. Love it all. To kind of go back to the music scene, so like what I think from the outside world, I don't think anyone really looks for artists from Florida really like that. But obviously, I think that everywhere there's definitely a music scene, just the world doesn't necessarily know about it yet. So can you kind of explain or kind of share with us like what it's like being an artist in Florida?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely agree with that. Like, I don't feel like people are like, oh, let me just find a Florida artist right now. Even though there is like a spotlight on a certain part of Florida, you know, like, and that spotlight is only looking at a certain type. You know, that spotlight has a filter on it. You know, so it's like, yeah, we're looking at Florida, but we only want this type of content from Florida. We don't want to hear about the real stuff. We don't want to hear about the conscious stuff. We don't want to hear about, anything positive or anything other than the mold that we have designed for the world to hear that's from Florida. Because most of the time when you hear about, like, think about if you get on social media right now and the post says Florida man, you automatically expecting some foolishness.
Hmm.
So that's what the media wants in our music from us as well.
Oh, really?
You know, if you're a Florida artist, I'm expecting you to have like some, some foolishness because I'm already expecting Florida to be wild. Like, if you're from Florida and you're not talking crazy, I'm not gonna respect you.
Mm.
That's how the media is. But I see it different. Like, that's why my music, I'm like, bro, I have to push a different wave. You know, that's why I have to push my music in a different market because it's like I don't want to be put in that category of like, oh, this dude only makes this type of music, or this dude only makes, you know, this savagery type of music. But I really try to make something to like push a different narrative. Like, hold on, like, okay, yeah, we come from this environment, but this is how we feel about it, or this is our perspective on it. We're not doing this because we want to. We're doing this because we have to. There's no other option.
Hmm. Do you ever feel like you should be making more like what people expect, just as far as like? 'Cause I think there's a lot of ways to make it, and obviously there's some ways that are probably easier than others, especially if that's like what people are expecting from you. But do you ever feel like you should have more songs that kind of fit that narrative?
Nah, because I have like guidance and stuff like that. You know, like
Mm.
people that I go to for guidance. And I know that the route that I'm taking is going to be a longer road. You know, it's gonna take a longer time to get where I'm trying to go, but it's going to be more, you know, fruitful at the end of that road. Versus if I go ahead and jump on this wave and jump on this narrative, that's what I'm gonna be. That's what I'm gonna be labeled as, even though that's not really me, and I'm not really gonna prosper from that because of that. Like, because that's just not me. Like, if I try to be something I'm not, ain't nothing good gonna come from that.
Hmm. Yeah, one thing I know I've noticed it listening to your music, but you also kind of spoke to off mic or um, just about how you kind of make a conscious decision not to. really, I want to say necessarily like promote, but just really kind of talk about violence in your music. Can you speak a little bit like why you don't do that?
Yeah, man. Like I just don't like to project bad stuff on people. Like if I don't believe in it, I'm not gonna project it on you. If I feel like it's not the right thing to do, or if I feel like for example, in my meantime, even though I'm an artist, I'm working on my music career. I'm still a father, so in my day-to-day life, I'm gonna do what I have to do to protect my family. So I might give you an example in my music on how to protect your family because that's the stuff that I do on my day-to-day basis. But I'm not gonna tell you or give you no advice on how to go do anything to put your life in jeopardy or do anything to put somebody else's life in jeopardy because that's not what I do on a daily basis.
Hmm.
You know. So I think that's why I don't rap about violence. Like I just don't like to like when you get on social media, it's so much it's so much negativity on social media. Like there's literally like nobody's pumping like the positive button. It's like they got a big bowl of social media and they're like positivity, and then they like take the big bucket of like negativity, and they like they like
Go ahead, more of that.
like where's the rest? We need more negative posts now. That's how it is. Like they don't, but they done programmed us to need it. If they would have programmed us to need positive energy, we wouldn't be we wouldn't be interested into the negative stuff that they're posting. But because we're programmed to want the negative stuff, we're programmed to want the violence because we hear it in the music, we see it on TV. You know what I'm saying? So now when we get on social media, I'm seeing it two other ways. I need it in this other way too.
Hmm.
But if you change the programming, if it's like, okay, if I change the programming with my music, it's like when you listen to me, you hear positive music. When you come to my Instagram, you see positive posts. When you see me on television or you see me in a podcast, you get positive energy. So now you're changing your whole programming. So when you get on social media and you see some negative, you're gonna be like, bro, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to see this. You know, it's just you got to change your programming.
Hmm. You think people subconsciously kind of crave negativity or like struggle or some type of us like just stuff that doesn't make us feel good? You think that's kind of like we kind of want to see that?
Yeah, they definitely want to see that because it like some people thrive off of it. Like they need it. That's their programming. Like they have no other choice. Like they fiend off of it and they can't get it. Like they have it in their own life, so they can't get it anymore in their own life. So they need an outside source of it. So it's like if you got something good going on, you be like, hey, I got a new job. They're gonna be like, oh, but it's only paying you such and such. Like, hey, but I got a new job. You like, damn, okay. You know what I'm saying? Those type of people, you know. So
Right.
you have to like separate yourself and get around people that be like, hey man, I'm about to buy a new house. Oh man, that's great, man. You doing good, bro. That's great. Keep going. I'm gonna be the first person there to help you fix something. Those are the type of people you gotta surround yourself around,
Hmm. That's a good point. I think yeah, I remember when I was younger, I was working at this soccer dome and someone asked me like who was playing that night, they were like, "Yo, when you gonna get a real job?" I was like, "What do you mean? I'm getting paid. This isn't like a volunteer thing." He's like, "No, when you gonna get a real job, like a man job?" I was like, "No, I got a job. I'm getting paid." I think people really look down on certain professions or career choices, like someone working at a gas station. Someone will be like, "Oh, that's not a real job or anything," but that's really like a start of a really dope career, or just like if you're getting paid enough, being able to take care of what you need to take care of, that's and you're happy. I feel like that's all that's really needed.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
they don't even know that maybe that dude at the gas station, maybe his plan is to own a gas station. So maybe he said, you know what, I'm gonna work at this gas station for a year, stack up $10,000, $15,000, and then put a down payment on the gas station. I'm gonna get my own gas station, but I need to know how this gas station work first.
Right. Because
So
I don't know how to say like, "Oh, the pump's not working. Let me go ahead and make it work." Like, I don't know that, so I couldn't just jump in and do that. You really do have to put in that time.
yeah, bro, there's certain businesses that like if you want to own them, like if you want to franchise that business, they make you work there for a full year.
Right.
So like you could be the owner of a a major fast food corporation, and they're making you work there for one full year. And people looking at you like, oh, this fast food worker, they don't even know you own the place.
I'd like to welcome you all to join me in the BossLocks Village. It's a way for you to directly support me and the show as we continue to reach new growth. The thing is, I need help, and I mean, there's a lot that I can do, but your support will empower me to take this podcast to a new level. So if you're not driving, go ahead and take a second to click the link in the description and sign up to be a part of the BossLocks Village. Let's grow together. One thing I like to ask everyone, and since we're already on the topic, I want to ask you this as well. But what does professionalism mean to you?
I think professionalism means, you know, to like you say, to me.
Yeah, no wrong answer.
Because I know somebody might kill me, but to me, man, professionalism just means you gotta be like you can be professional in your day-to-day life. Like that's how you should be at work, but you shouldn't be as like have as much leisure as you would. Like some people think professionalism is like, oh, I gotta be super uppity. I gotta da da da. No, that's not professionalism. That's just something totally different. You have to just be the person that you're supposed to be. Be dependable, be accountable. Like be a great being a great human being, being an ideal human being is professionalism. Like you just have to be that person the ideal person that you could
I like that. I like that. I don't think anyone's gonna come for you for that.
be. Because I know some people feel like they feel like you could be a jerk, but as long as you got on a suit and tie, you're professional.
Mm,
Oh, he's just doing his job. No, that's not being professional. Like
right.
you got that uniform on, just because you got the uniform on, and just because you fit in this box of an image, that don't make you professional. You could be professional with a t-shirt and sweatpants on, but you could still be a professional.
That's right. Yeah, we had someone on episode 28, I believe. Yeah, 28. And he was saying like he never ever wants to wear a suit again. Like he shows up to things like with a hoodie sometimes, just because like that's
I
he's like
like
this.
that.
Yeah. And I think I love that because I think like we focus so much on the suit and tie image when in reality, like me in the suit and tie, that's gonna limit me from being able to do certain things. Like if I'm working in like an oil field, it's not gonna be professional for me to show up in a suit like that. Like that's gonna be very limiting.
Come
And
on.
yeah.
I work in a negative 20-degree freezer. Come on. What I'm gonna do in a suit?
So it's not gonna help. Not gonna help. Yeah. Oh, that's actually another thing I wanted to ask you. So I think and this isn't just in regards to music, but just being as a creative as well. I think a lot of people struggle with pursuing their passions while still having their job, a quote unquote 9 to 5. So I'm curious, hear from you, like what as you continue on this journey, like what are your feelings as far as balancing that passion, that creative passion, but still showing up when you need to your the day job?
Well, for me,
Mm,
I think I treat myself as like a business. So I look at it as like, working my 9 to 5, working my career. That's me bringing in revenue to the business. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. So it's like if there's things that I want to do in all of my other line of businesses, whether it be my music, whether it be, my personal business endeavors, or whether it be work, I have to bring income in those, some kind of way. So it's like, okay, if you want to invest in your music career, you want to be a big multi-million dollar selling artist, you got to invest money into yourself. So you have to go ahead and do some other things and bring that money in. You got to treat yourself like a business. The business got to get
I feel that young Hove in the making.
paid. feel me? That's just how I treat it, man. You know, I feel like it's a lot of people who out there that do it too. They just probably don't word it that way, but you know, you just gotta treat yourself like a business. Like, man, you know, you always in a meeting, man.
Oh,
The
me?
yeah, yeah, you. The business gotta make money. The business gotta keep moving.
That's true.
You know, if I got time to stand still, if I'm the business and I got time to sit home and stand still, that means the business isn't making money right now. So I need to find something to do right now.
Mm,
So that's how I treat it.
I feel that. So, another question I have for you in regards to that, I think is interesting is being an artist. I feel like there's only so many ways. This is me as not an artist, but only so many ways to make money. Like, obviously, the direct way is to not put your music on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, or Tidal, but to just put it up on a private site and you have to pay to get to it. And I'll be honest, I can't say whether that's a good or bad thing. I know it definitely limits you on who listens, but at the same time, there's a whole another side of it where you can really build a private community like that. But for you, someone who does put their music out on the streaming platforms, like how do you feel about having, I guess, making money as an artist, like the different ways to do it? Like, what's your approach to it?
Yeah, I apply the same concept of like being a business to it. You just have to in this day and age, like the private, like you said, with the private stuff, it's cool. But with this day and age, you just have to be accessible. And as long as you're accessible and creative, you'll make money. You can create revenue. So for me, with the streaming websites, if you it takes a good amount of streams to get paid, but it comes. It might take a while for it to build up, or it might take 3 months to get paid. You get paid 3 months late, on it. So it's fine. It builds up, but in the meantime, if you treat yourself like a business, you can make more money. You can sell merchandise. You can perform. You can do appearances. There's so many other ways you can make yourself profitable. Like I got some stuff on. Actually, I'll talk about with you later. But there's so much other ways that you can make yourself profitable. You know, in this business. So you just have to be more creative, think outside the box, and then think inside the box as well. Like look at the same stuff that major labels do. What they're gonna do, they're gonna take you essential to them, a nobody, and they're gonna pump a bunch of money into creating a brand for you. They're gonna make an image for you. They're gonna put a bunch of marketing dollars into you, create merchandise, create this like product of you that they can sell, and that's they're gonna buy your likeness. They don't care really so much about the music. The music is just something to bring them to the product.
Mm.
Like Walmart, their store is their music, and inside of that store they have everything that you want.
Interesting. That's
So
interesting.
an artist is the same way. Like me, Rooster, that's my store. Inside of Rooster, there's so much other stuff you can get. You can get music, you can get video, you can get lifestyle, all type of stuff.
Hmm. So it's not just a building they will come, just put the music out and just chill. Another cut for people just to do stuff. You really gotta kind of be out there, people to see your face,
Yeah,
and you have to be that Walmart building.
if you're gonna be independent, yes,
Mm, interesting.
because
Is
they can do it for you, but don't do that.
don't do what?
Go to the label.
Why is that?
Just if you don't have any leverage, don't go to the label.
Mm,
A lot of artists, I feel like they sign with no leverage, and then they get to a point to where they have that leverage that they should have had when they signed, and then they're talking to the label like, "Oh, I'm on a bad deal." It's like you had no leverage when you signed the deal, so it's not a bad deal. You signed it.
don't sign with no lever. I've never heard that someone speak about it like that. That's a Rooster original. Don't sign without leverage. So I think that's so interesting because, like, I think the most recent example. mainstream example of like a bad deals with Meg the Stallion, and just like I don't even know the details because I think it's still being worked out, but we don't know the details what happened with her label deal. I just know at the beginning of the year she was like in tears on Instagram Live, like they're not letting me do that, and I was like, huh. But and I think that's something that a lot of record labels, honestly, this is across the board, but especially like in the black community or people who just don't have experience in this or that, just kind of say like, yeah, here's this, it's going to change your life, just sign here, and it's all good. But don't sign without leverage. So, what what leverage does someone have when they're just starting out? They're still trying to find money to put food on the table and stuff. Like what does leverage look like?
For that person, leverage for them is you need to build up your fan base. You need to start dropping out singles. You need to start dropping songs that you're not going to get paid for.
Mm,
You know what I mean? You need a fan base. You need to have uh, merchandise. You need to start legalizing yourself. So go ahead and like get an LLC, get like, get stuff like that. So that way, when it's time for you to go to a label, you can show them like, hey, I'm already profitable. And at this rate, last year I had zero sales. I'm up. My sales are up 60% every 3 months. You got to have some stuff to show them like, hey, I'm already on the course to make this money that you're offering me. I need more than that. But
hmm,
if you just want to look at most people, they make music and then they get a deal offer and they're like, oh, I'm not da 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 because I gotta sign this deal because they haven't done any work to create leverage. It's like if you popping and you got and your song has 1 million views, why did you sign the deal? Why didn't you create like something as simple as creating T-shirts and selling shirts? So you made $1 million off a T-shirt, and now you could tell them like, hey, hold on, I made $1 million already by myself. How you gonna offer me $1 million?
hmm. That reminds me of two things. Well, actually, a lot of different things. That's really good advice. I think the first one is when I heard Charlamagne the God talking about not letting someone come on the Breakfast Club because they were saying, okay, yeah, I see what you're doing something, but I mean, you're not hot yet. You're not. There's nothing like no one knows who you are, type of thing. And I always keep that in mind because it's like, okay, as I'm building this or that, I need to be in the position where someone like the Breakfast Club actually wants me to come on. Not let's say I need them, but we kind of help each other kind of
Yeah,
pop. I think that's something with the record label people don't always think about is like they need their investments to work because they're trying to make money. They're not trying to change their life. They're trying to make money. Yeah.
facts. Like even what you say with the Breakfast Club, you could tell the difference in the interviews when the person that came on there asked to be there or needed to get there versus the interviews where they wanted that guest to be there. The questions and everything are totally different. It's utmost respect. You know, they're letting you speak. They're letting you get it off. But when you like, you can tell the people that was like, oh, I gotta get on the Breakfast Club, and then they get there and it's like they clowning them the whole time. They're like, why y'all not? Why y'all don't treat me like such and such? Why y'all don't treat me like this and that? It's like, cause you're not there yet.
Mm. That's a good point. And I definitely you could tell because like they have those 15-minute interviews and then the 5-hour interviews too. Big difference.
Birdman had to have the shortest interview.
Thanks. One of the most legendary ones too.
Oh my god. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You gotta have some leverage. And that's in any business, not just music industry. That's like if you're selling your company and you have no leverage and you're going to your the people you're selling and you're like, oh, I just need to sell it, I need to get out of it, da da da. They're gonna offer you the lowest possible because they know you just need the money. But if you're going to them like, hey, my business is doing this, it's da da da, it's selling good, you know, you gotta sell it. You gotta make it look good. You gotta create some leverage, and then they'll be like, "Well, I want the business, but I gotta pay top dollar for it," and they're gonna have to pay top dollar.
Hmm. Very true. So, what are some of the things you're working on to build leverage for yourself?
Right now, I'm doing a lot of groundwork. Like I'm going back to the basics and doing the like I'm on my mixtape level. I'm still working on my album right now, but I'm probably not gonna release it until like 2021 sometime.
Mm,
But um, I'm dropping like a lot of singles right now, probably about a single a week, just to create some buzz, create my fan base. I'm making a lot of doing a couple shows. I've been trying to chill on the shows a little bit though, because of COVID. It is real, so I pick
facts.
I pick and choose what shows I want to do. But mainly my grind is like social media, advertising, billboards, you know. And right now I'm working on getting like some street team together so I can actually like go out and do the groundwork that I need to do to
Mm.
build some more buzz for myself.
So, what's the street team look like in like now? Because I know back in the day, like you had to have that. It's like, how else are people going to find out about you? But now we have the internet. So, I've always thought about the concept of a street team today, but I don't even know what it would look like. So, what are some of the things you're thinking of as far as like this the street team?
See, for me, because I want to be a part of it. I don't want to just outsource it.
Mm-hmm.
My ideal street team would be, a uniformed unit of people that during the night they take over the city, and when people wake up in the morning, that's all they see consistently. Every time you out and about, you see the same image consistently, and they make sure that that's going to happen every day of the week. But on the weekends, of course, when people are out and about, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, when people are in the clubs, it might be a show on Wednesday or whatever. You out in the parking lot, tearing the parking lot down. You got posters on the poles, stuff on people's cars. Just you want people to get familiar with your face, because if you see me the first time, you might look me up. You see me twice, you're probably gonna look me up. But if you start seeing me 3 or 4 times, you're gonna be like, "Hey, what is this?"
Hmm. You know, the first thing I thought of when we started talking was like organized flash mob. So together, you just bring a bunch of people to dance to your songs. Like, let's do it, guys! Come on.
Yeah, no, not that big. Maybe like 4 or 5 people, but we just go from spot to spot, tagging it up.
I feel you. That's a good point, actually, because they say it takes like anywhere from 8 to 12 and beyond times for someone to hear something, see something before they make the sale. Like, rarely do people actually buy on that first time. Like, they really have to. And if they do, they're really. I think that salesperson is probably building on shared experiences and stuff like that. But people really need to hear about it a couple times before they even like go to listen or buy. Like I even know this podcast, like just always try to bring it up to people because like, I'll tell them about the first time, like, okay, word, that's what's up. So the second time, okay, cool. But it might be the seventh time, like, oh, you know what? Let me go check it out for real. Like, and that's not like hate or anything. I do that myself. Like, I'm not always gonna check something out the first time. Really gotta see it and hear it multiple times for even think about like, oh no, I need to see it.
I feel you because I'm guilty of it. Because I'm an artist, like, I'm more inclined to listen to someone.
Hmm.
But for the most part, it takes me a while. I'm like, uh, all right, I done seen it 5 or 6 times now. Let me just go ahead and check it out.
Yeah, I feel like it's human nature too. So it's not even like I think a lot of people are like, man, no one ever listened to me supported, but yo, like there's only so many hours in a day. Like there's a lot, and
You gotta
everyone
market.
has, yeah.
You got market. It takes time. It's not no like. It's not overnight, man. It takes a long time. First, you have to get your product right. Like it took me a long time because I wanted to get my product right first. I wanted to
Mm,
make sure everything I put out was like, it sound how I wanted to sound. It's, how I wanted. Once I got my sound together and I got the way that I make music down pat, then it's time to like market, do all that stuff to create buzz, because a lot of people rush into it and then they're like, why am I not having any success? It's like you got to take your time with it and really perfect it.
hmm.
It's a
Good
slow
point.
grind.
It's a slow grind. I feel you. That's what's up. So I see you've mentioned this a couple times in different ways, the whole like longevity aspect of it. Like of course, like and I think the same with signing a deal. That's great for right now, but that might not last. It might not work out in the end. But taking time to build that business.
For real, man.
Yeah,
Because you can get anything you want. You just gotta put the time in it. Like anybody that like, if you look at like anybody that you look up to, and you be like, oh, how did you do it? How did you get there? And they'll tell you the same thing. It took me a lot of hard work. So why skip? Why try to skip all the hard work?
hmm,
Just do the hard work, and you know you'll get the result. Don't try to find a shortcut because you're gonna go through 10, 20 shortcuts, and you could be halfway through your hard work already.
true. That's actually a real good point because I know like sometimes it feels like we gotta do all these extra things just to make it pop this one time, but in that time of trying to come up with all these get rich quick things, could have been like halfway through what you need to do. That's
Exactly.
real. Word. So one thing I want to ask you, it kind of ties into longevity and thing, because when I hear your music, it doesn't sound like it took you the day to write it, but you're just saying you're about to start trying to drop a new song every week. So like, how long does it really take you to write a song?
You want to know the truth, man?
I want to know the truth.
I freestyle all that stuff. I didn't. I don't write any of
For real.
that.
So you really out here like young Hove, just not I don't write it down, just go.
I don't write it down. I don't write nothing down. I like every now and then though, like if I have one of those days, bro, where I just need like, you know what, I gotta write it down. Or if I feel a song, like I have a song and I really feel like, okay, this is a hit, like and it comes in my head, I'll write it down. But for the most part, I'll just get in the mood, I'll get in my my mood, my mode of making music, and then I'll just put the beat on, and then I'll like go through it, spit, cut it, like okay, next,
Hmm.
spit, next. But I'll have kind of in my head like what's on my mind. I won't necessarily have the bars yet. I won't have the lyrics yet, but I'll just have like what's on my mind. Like this is what I'm talking about.
It's like a stream of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Hmm. So I think that's also something interesting. I don't know if you realize it or not, but I think I forgot who said it, so I'm just gonna credit Jay-Z for it because I like to give him his props. But you're saying like you really have to find out what your creative process is. Like that time when you did something amazing, you got to really intentionally kind of document like what were all the different stimulus and everything that took to create that moment for you. Because I know like writer's block. Even for me, like I don't always do a lot of writing, but just the creativity isn't always there. So I kind of have to find that system that gets me to where I need to be. Like with each episode, I kind of try to do like the similar things step by step to prepare to actually go in it. Cause there's something about when you find that mode, then you can really do everything. So is that something you just like consciously do? Like, okay, I gotta do this, gotta listen to this, da 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 before I really jump in and just freestyle something?
I think it's more so like for me, my music making process is like I'll in order to get in the mode of making music, I cut the music on, you know, I make it to where it's not so bright to where I am. I just kind of relax for a second, just listen to the music. I might get in my little section, how just vibe out for a little while. Then I'll think about like I'll try to sit back and I'll try to tap into like if there's anything that's been bothering me recently, it's usually right away. I already have something to go. But like while I'm sitting, if I don't have nothing like already prepared to go off of, I'll sit back, I'll vibe for a little bit, and I'll just like think back to like things that I really felt like I should have spoke on.
Hmm.
Like if I felt like, what, I should have addressed this, let me address this. And that's how I make music.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. So I want to transition into your natural hair journey in a second, but another question I have for you: when you think about yourself and you think about longevity, building the leverage, and just everything that it takes to be where you want to be, I'm wondering, like, let's say 10 years from now, what do you envision your life to be?
10 years, let's see. I'm a father, so I gotta think about it like that. Like, okay, my baby will be,
Got
my
to.
daughter will be like 12. So let's see, 10 years from now, I probably just want to be like at like my LeBron James level of success game. Like, I want to be at my peak. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll probably be like 30. I'll be like 35, 36. So like that's when I feel like I want to be at my most dominant moment in life. Like, just like in 10 years, I just want to be like, at my peak.
I
You know what I'm
feel
saying?
you.
When they look back at my stats, they're gonna be like, yeah, he was good at 25. He was good at 26, but after this time, his performance is through the roof. If I was a basketball player, that's how they would describe it.
I feel you. I like that a lot. LeBron James level.
You feel me? That's how I look at it. Like that Kobe Bryant level, like that just Mamba mentality. Like, I feel like I'm already becoming into that level. Like, I've already, like, I can sit back and witness. Like, okay, when I was younger, I seen myself, like, all the stuff I did to lead up to this, and I'm like, the person I am now versus then. I see where I'm headed, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? I got that. You know, I'm getting that real deal Mamba mentality.
I feel you. So in 10 years, do you still see yourself making music?
Yeah, I'm never gonna stop making music.
Or so this really is a passion for you.
Yeah, it's therapy, man. I don't. I made a song where I said, like, I don't. I said, this is not the bar, but in so many words, I was speaking on how I don't go to therapy, and the reason I don't go to therapy is because I vent on my music. So if a
Mm.
person wants to find out what's wrong with me or what's going on in my life or shit that I've been through, you don't have to ask a psychiatrist, and just go to my damn music.
I feel you. Like, what's wrong? You don't know what's wrong? You must not listen.
You must not listen.
Said it all in track 12.
Yeah, but I hide it. I hide it though in melodies and rhythms, and my songs are so, like, like catchy. Like, oh, you might be singing along and not even realizing, like, damn, this is sad.
Mm.
But you just like, oh, you know. So that's how I get it out. I like, if I'm really going through something, I'll just put it in a song, make it really catchy,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
I feel you. I have one other question for you about music. Who? All right, no order, but who are your top five? Like, I can't have you on. Like, I actually feel like I did a disservice to the other 2 hours I had on because I didn't ask this, but no, I have to ask this. Who's your top five?
No order.
No order.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a solid top five, right? But I just know that people are going to, now that last question. I was like, they're gonna kill me for this one. They're not gonna be mad at that. This right here, I feel like this gets artists killed right here.
Yeah. Say goodbye to all your political connects.
I'm sorry to anybody I offend, but no order. My top five. Okay, I'm gonna put Young Jeezy in there. I'm gonna put J. Cole in there. I'm gonna put, yeah. So right now, I say I got Young Jeezy, J. Cole. Even though I only know a few of his songs, I don't know a whole lot of his songs. His, like, rhymes and stuff is really influential on, like, my rhymes and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say Andre 3000. Then I'm gonna also say Young Thug, because I just love his music. I really love Young Thug's music. And me.
And you? I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. J. Cole's also, he's on my top five too. That's
It's some,
interesting.
it's some honorable mentions though. I got Kendrick in there. You know what I'm saying? I like, I like the OEA and all that. Some of Ye stuff be sliding, but not all of it.
Oh, you said, oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like Kodak Black, like boy, that's my guy. Kodak. Like I got a lot of honorable mentions. I like a lot. It's so many I can't even think about all of them. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get Wheezy in there. I love Wayne, bro. It's so many. I love music. I listen to so many different artists. So like
Hmm.
even the old Chris Brown. I'm not too much of a fan of the new Chris Brown, but I like the old Chris Brown.
That's a big difference in Chris Brown throughout the ages.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
for a
he's
lot of reasons, but
yeah. He's different. I like T Pain. But I love T Pain's music. Rick Ross. I got an all star team, but those my top five. Like so, I got I take that though. Jeezy, Andre Three Stats, me, Cole, and who did I say I'm leaving or not?
you said Jeezy, Cole, Andre 3000, Young Thug, and
Young
you.
Thug and Young Thug. Yeah, and Young Thug. Yeah,
I like that list.
that's my top five.
Hmm. So in that Jeezy versus Gucci versus, you were going for Jeezy?
I wasn't though. I like both of them. I just Jeezy music. Even though I like Gucci Mane music, Jeezy music, I feel like it resonates with me more.
Hmm.
I like when I listen to him, I can like picture it better.
I'd like to welcome you all to join me in the BossLocks Village. It's a way for you to directly support me and the show as we continue to reach new growth. The thing is, I need help, and I mean, there's a lot that I can do, but your support will empower me to take this podcast to a new level. So if you're not driving, go ahead and take a second to click the link in the description and sign up to be a part of the BossLocks Village. Let's grow together. All right. Well, I want to transition into your natural hair journey, and I actually decided to talk to you about this because I think so. There's something about just like the Florida lock style that's just so unique. It's like you see some real like wild stuff that I've never seen anywhere else. So I mean, to start it all off though, like how long have you had locks?
Um, about to be a year actually.
About to be a year. That's what's up. So what why'd you decide to start growing locks?
Honestly, because I had been some of the stuff that I had went through and stuff like that. I had grew my hair like a long time before I grew my hair, and I felt like when my hair was really long, I was prospering, right? And then I went through some stuff and I like cut my hair. And when I cut my hair, I felt like, man, it's like my energy and stuff is just not as good right now.
Hmm.
Now that I don't have my hair. So I decided to grow my hair back. And as I've been like growing my hair back, I've been like, I feel it, like my hair gives me like, you know, it's like some strength. It's like some extra like wisdom or something. It's some extra little mojo in my hair that like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a intangible force almost. You know what I'm saying?
I like that answer. Yeah, that's what's up. I definitely feel it. I know I don't remember when I first started my lock journey. I think I definitely felt different. I mean, just for starters, when people kind of compliment you on it, I just remember some people being like, "Oh yeah, you're looking like a," especially when I had my locks kind of in front. They're like, "Oh yeah, looking like a pharaoh, almost a king, looking like royalty." And I don't know if they say pharaoh just because I'm
I know
black,
you was
but
loving
I
that. I know
liked it
you was
though.
loving that.
Oh yeah,
Like you heard him. Like I just told you who I am. A god.
that's right. But yeah, no, that I was definitely loving all that. But yeah, I think there's something different when it comes to like having natural hair, but especially locks. Like it I don't know. I think someone else could probably give more of like a spiritual type of answer, but I think there's different type of energy there just within yourself and also outwards and things you attract.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in regards to the Florida hairstyle, can you kind of speak to the world a little bit about what it's like to or what type of things you've seen and what it means to have locks in Florida?
See, in Florida, this would be like, this is like a mild case. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? If the most extreme case would be like three dreads or just two dreads or just one dread, altogether. And I think that really comes because, like, in Florida, we so close to the islands and stuff like that, that we have a lot of different other cultures and influence that play a part of that. So, the type of um, people that come there, it's a lot of like Jamaicans and Haitians and stuff that's there too. So all of that kind of blends in. They wear dreadlocks too, just like we wear dreadlocks. So the style of the dread, like the more thickness of it, and I think that just plays more part of like to our location and like our access to different cultures is easier than the rest of the country. So like person that's in Chicago, if they grow dreads, it might just be a bunch of single dreads. Like I might have maybe 40 dreads altogether or 30 dreads altogether, but a person from more up north or a northern region will have a bunch of dreads, hundreds of dreads. So I think it just comes from like just the location and our access to different cultures.
Mm, that's a good point right there. I think that, and yeah, you're definitely right. Like I think, especially on the southern coast, definitely more kind of direct ties to other cultures in our history. I know in Charleston, the Gullah Geechee culture is strong, and I took that for granted when I was living there, man. So that's definitely something I want to dive back into because that's like literally the closest you could get to some of the African cultures is right there in that Gullah Geechee community.
Word.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like
now I want to check it out.
got to. I got to do some type of. It's two things I want to do. Definitely some like deep dive into the Gullah Geechee experience, and also go down to Florida to see all the different styles, the lock styles, and everything.
Go to Miami. Got the wildest ones probably.
Yeah.
You know, and then again, it's all over though. Florida, like Jacksonville, they all got a similar style. You know, Orlando, Central Florida got a similar style. But Miami, I think the reason their style like that is because most of the guys down there is more Haitians and stuff down there, more Jamaican, so it's more Islanders. So there's look different. It's more like a flat kind of dread.
Mm.
It's not necessarily like how mine are kind of they're fat but they're round.
Mm-hmm.
Down there theirs are more like just flat, like
Gotcha.
flat together almost.
Hmm. So when you look at your own hair, and like, do you consider it more of a hairstyle or a lifestyle?
I think it's a lifestyle because a hairstyle is something that you could do that doesn't that just alters your appearance. It doesn't
Mm.
alter or affect anything else in your life. But when you have dreads, that alters everything else in your life. Like in a social aspect, it doesn't change the way you eat or anything. It doesn't change the way you know, do your day to day, but it's gonna change the way you are in a social setting. Like when you go to a store, it's gonna change the way people look at you and how people perceive you. So I definitely think it's a lifestyle.
I agree with that. Yeah, that ties back to what you're saying as far as like the different energy you get in life when you had longer hair versus shorter hair.
Hmm.
Yeah,
They gonna judge you.
facts. That's facts. Do you think since you started your locks, how have people reacted to it?
um, I feel like I get mixed signals because sometimes I like to put them in my my real deal, my Florida style. I like to wick them up. I put them all together, so I probably have like five dreads all together. So when I go out looking like that, you get mixed signals. You get some people that be like, they just look and you can tell they're talking about you because everybody got the mask on now. So when you lean towards somebody and lean in, I know you're talking about me. And then you have like the old white ladies who actually will be like, "Oh, I like your hair." So that's a plus. That it shocked me though. That happened to me at Aldi. That's why I say that because I was at Aldi and had my hair like all wicked up. You know, I had it freshly dyed, so it was like bright orange. And she's like, "Oh, I love your hair. Like, I like that. That looks really good." And I'm like, "Thank you." And it's like this old white lady.
Shout out to all these, got the friendliest customers for real though.
Yeah, okay, okay, sugar mama, okay,
You got my groceries?
for real.
Word. That's what's up. So I have two more questions for you.
All right,
Um one, where can everyone find you?
all right. So, if you want to find me, the easiest way and the more universal way is just to go to Instagram. Yeah, Orange County Rue. So, orange like the fruit, county like the municipal department, and Rue RU. You know, just the first two letters of Rooster. So yeah, Orange County Rue. Find me there, and then from there you just click the link in my bio if you want to watch some videos or you want to listen to some music or anything like that, or even just send me a message.
That's what's up. Yeah, we need to start beginning of sending people messages, because that's something I started doing is like have this like voice message thing on the site. But like I think we oftentimes we just follow people like, but we don't always like just message or comment.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Send me a message. I'm gonna write you back. We gonna talk. I
all
give
right.
good vibes only.
Good vibes only. I like that. Now, second question is there anything else you want to speak on before we go?
Uh, I don't know, man. We can speak on anything. You know, I speak on so much. I got so much,
Yo, we got time. We got
so,
time. And
so much to say. You know what? I'm gonna actually speak on it because we talked about like we briefly touched on like how we said that Megan Thee Stallion situation with the whole contracts and stuff like that.
yeah.
I did want to speak on like that ties into like as our culture, right? When we're young, we're very impressionable, and those type of situations tie into us like not having like the proper financial literacy, to know how to handle our business so that way we don't end up in those situations. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
for example, a young artist might say, as a young artist, you might come across $100,000, in a time span of 2 months. Most people that are our age, that's in our generation, most people they come across 100 grand, they can go buy the car that they wanted. You know what I'm saying? They gonna go buy it, try to put as much down on the crib they wanted, go shopping. You know what I'm saying? They might not even buy the crib. They just might even just, go rent the most fire spot, and then go shopping or whatever. But then they don't understand like how to get in those situations to where they don't have any leverage. But it's like if you're a young artist and you come across 100 grand, and on the opposite end, you say, you know what? Let me go buy something with this 100 grand that's gonna make me money. And then the shit that's making me money, then I go buy all the shit that I want. I can go buy that car, I can go buy that crib, I can go buy that chain, all that shit. But don't take don't take everything that you work for and then blow it, and then now you gotta sell yourself just to get a piece of your own pie. Like that's working backwards. You feel me? So I think people should, the solution to that is people should just start practicing, their financial literacy. Like just start practicing ways to make your money make money. Like work hard, put 2-3 years in and stack up, you know, as much money as you can. It might take you 3 years to save $80,000, or it might take you 3 years to save $100,000. Okay, that's cool. Wait the 3 years, get your 100 grand, and then don't spend that 100 grand and blow it all. Just take the 100 grand, spend all of that shit to buy something that's gonna make you some money, and then once you that shit start making money, then you can splurge because you got an endless supply of fucking money. You got a money printer now.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So that's my message. Just don't work backwards. Buy you a money printer.
I like that. That's a good point. That's a good point. I think hmm, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess we did kind of speak on already, but just like the act of signing that deal, I remember the first time I held $100 bill, and I was like, "Yo, that's actually wild." And like it sounds small, but I remember I was in college. I was a server and at Applebee's. I don't know why they had. I think just like the week's worth of tips or whatever just ended up finally being at the $100, and they gave me $100 bill instead of the stacks. And I was just kind of I kept it for a while. It's like, yo, this feels good. And I think when you are presented with just like a certain amount of money you've never seen before, it's like you don't even know what to do with it. It's like, yo, I got money I've never had. I could do anything. Cause like $100, $1,000, that's like something that a lot of people never have at one time. And that's like it's like what are you supposed to do with it? Like I could do anything. Like I remember I went to Miami for spring break one time and I had my refund check from school. I was just like, yo, you out of money, it's all good. I got you. Like we're all gonna live it up.
That's the
I
black
left
lottery.
yeah, for real. For real though. But yeah, man. I left Miami broke, by the way.
Oh man,
Yeah, but I didn't regret it because I like that's experience I'll never
that's
forget.
fun, bro.
But
You can't regret it. You can't regret it. Money
can
is accessible, man. You just gotta figure out how to buy a money printer. It's
mm-hmm.
a bunch of different kind of money printers, you know. Like you say, we might not know what to do with it, but that's okay. If your plan is to, like I say, spend 2 3 years and get that, 100 grand or whatever, or 200,000, whatever it may be, then that means you have 2 years to figure it out. Like
Right.
you can figure that shit out. So some people be like, man, I'm not trying to spend a year learning how to do this. Okay, so if you don't do that, then what else you finna do for the whole year?
True.
So you finna spend a year. It's more valuable to you to spend a year doing nothing than it is to spend a year at least learning how to do something.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Because like you on your journey, like you already know how to put out your own music everywhere. You know you're working on putting together that straight team. So by the time the label comes through, it's like the things that they would do for you, you already know how to do, and you got people to do who do it. So yeah,
Exactly. People have to want to put the work in, man. It's not easy, bro. It's easy, but it's not easy. Like it's not easy to like change your mindset. But once you change your mindset, it's easy to do everything. Like it's easy to get on the internet and drop a song. Like I can leave, I can get off this chat and go drop a song right now.
true.
you know, it's very easy. I can go to the park today and have Ebony shoot clips and drop a video tonight if I wanted to. So like
Right.
the aspect of doing it is super easy. It's just you got to change your mindset and be like, I want to do this now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I play video games, but I play it. It's free time. It's like you can't play video games all day. You gotta like, if it's the middle of the day, you playing some games. You're like, you know what? I want to do this. Go do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people talk about it like, oh, when I get big, I'm gonna do this. When I get big, but it's like they don't finish the rest of the story. It's like what comes before when I get big?
Mm.
Like what did you do? What are you gonna do to get big? So
That's a good point.
gotta finish the story. Same way when people talk about violence, that's why I don't rap about violence, because people talk about violence and they don't finish the story. They be like, if such and such try me, I'm gonna shoot his house up. And then that's all they say in the song. But they don't never finish the story. They're supposed to be like, this is how the story's supposed to go. It's supposed to be like, if such and such try me, I'm gonna shoot his house up. And then I'm gonna miss, and they gonna get mad, and they gonna come back, and they gonna kill me, and then my kids gonna be orphans. That's the whole story.
True.
You know that that's the whole story. Why they don't say that in the rap? They just say the first piece.
Facts.
So
That's true, man. It's almost misleading, really, because the music, whether you think it is or not, it definitely influences you. Not saying here that's going to make you go do that, but it still like paints that idea in your picture, like, oh, that's it, that's cool, and then we just go back to doing what we were doing. But nah, there's
that's
there's
not it.
repercussions to everything.
Yeah, you gotta tell them like, oh, then somebody gonna see you do it, and you're gonna have to spend $20,000 on a lawyer. They're like, hold on, wait, I ain't even. I don't have 20 grand. I know, but you're gonna do it anyway.
Mhm.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
I try to teach people a different way. I done been through a lot of shit, so I try to teach people a different way to not go through anything that I've been through. And if
hmm,
you're already going through it, I'm gonna show you how to get out of it as smooth as possible and still maintain your morality.
that's key. I think that's part of what's missing. Like people want to just share the highlights, but not really the what happened after, what happened before, and just really because I think it's like I mean it is key to show the highlights so people could aspire to this or that, but we got to see the struggle too, like the reality of it, the misses, the L's, all that stuff, so we know how to go through things as smooth as possible, how to react and kind of be more proactive to certain things. So we know when we in those situations what to expect and what type of moves we got to make.
Facts. That's why I'm always, if I speak on it in one of my songs or something, I always give enough information for someone to grasp the concept and understand it. I don't leave nobody hanging by a thread. You know,
Absolutely.
if I'm literally if I'm in a verse and I'm talking about in that verse something that I did that was bad, I guarantee it before the end of that verse, I'm gonna tell you the consequence that I suffered for that.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? But if I told you something I did was good, I'm gonna tell you the outcome. You know, vice versa. I'm not gonna just tell a piece of the story.
gotta be honest with the listeners.
Yeah, that's what people like. It might take longer because you're gonna be gaining real fans. You're not gonna be gaining people that just entertained by what the hell you did. You're gonna be gaining real fans, people that's gonna listen to everything and all your stuff. And the people that listen to the music that you're gaining because you're being so real, those are people that's listening to you every day. You know what I'm saying? And you just steady gaining those type of followers. So when you get older and they get older, those people don't got older with you. So now they love you. Like look at Jay-Z. He got fans that have been his fans since they were like 19, 20. Now they're
Right.
40, 45. They're still his fan.
That's a good point. It actually reminds me, I almost don't even want to mention his name, but I feel like he's such a good lesson. But like Takashi 69, yo, like he's the biggest example of like trolling and clout chasing. Like now people don't even mention him. Like no one really cares about him whatsoever. He's trying to get on shows. People like, nah, I'm good. Like you need me. It's like, yeah, I'm good.
I'm good. That is a prime example of clout chasing going wrong.
hmm
He did what he did and he clout chased and it got him nowhere.
Yeah, like it worked for a minute because he's like the only thing anyone ever talked about. But now it's like,
Yeah, but with the lifestyle that he has, how long until that well runs dry?
hmm,
When you like, bro, I have experienced karma in all levels, and when you think you get spared, it doesn't spare you. Right when you think you spared, that's when she be like, "Oh yeah, he thought it was a game." Knock
right,
knock. So you can't think like that. Like his some people might think he won. Like, oh, he didn't do no jail time. Got out. Yeah, but he's not gonna win in the end. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be thinking ahead. Like you can't be thinking for the next week. You gotta be thinking like how I'm gonna win 10, 15 years from now. Cause he might be to him, he might be winning now. But in 5, 6 years, when that money running dry, you know, people don't care about his music as much because his fans right now done got older. You know what I'm saying? So now they done outgrew him because he can't grow with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's just gonna die off. He gonna be that dude that fell off and somewhere Devontae invested in.
I just want money in the bank. Have no time for them. We just pray and say amen. Been here, boys, since way back when. I just want money in the bank.
all right, that is a wrap. Thank you for listening to the BossLocks podcast. If you like today's episode, make sure you're subscribed and following us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. And don't forget to check out the links in our description to learn more about our guests, how you can support our show, you can leave us a voice message, and become a member of the Working While Black Facebook group. Thank you all for listening today, and we'll see you Tuesday for our next episode.
Baby, please don't stress me out. I just wanna have some fun. And a bang too much Prince Charles. But that's fine, I'll chase his mumsy. She don't love him, but she loves me. Feelings mutual, baby, trust me, baby, trust me.